On this site, a powerful engine will be built. An engine that will someday help us to travel 100 times faster than we can today. Imagine it, thousands of inhabited planets at our fingertips. And we'll be able to explore those strange new worlds and seek out new life and new civilizations. This engine will let us go boldly, where no man has gone before.
God, she's beautiful.
And fast.
Let's take a look at the lateral sensor array.
Give me a sec.
Slow down. There. Those are the ports that buckled during the last test. They need to be reinforced. Great. You scratched the paint.
Sorry. Orbital 6.
Captain Archer, sir.
Go ahead.
Admiral Forrest needs you at Starfleet Medical right away.
Who was chasing him? We don't know. They were incinerated in the methane explosion, and the farmer's description was vague at best.
How did they get here? What kind of ship?
They were using some kind of stealth technology. We're still analyzing our sensor logs.
I'd like to see those logs. The Klingons made it very clear they want us to expedite this.
It happened on our soil.
That's irrelevant.
Ambassador.
You will be apprised of all pertinent information.
Admiral?
John, I think you know everyone.
Not everyone.
It's a Klingon.
A Klingon.
Where'd he come from?
Oklahoma.
A corn farmer named Moore shot him with a plasma rifle. Says it was self-defense.
Fortunately, Saval and I have maintained close contact with Kronos since the incident occurred.
Kronos.
It's the Klingons' homeworld.
This gentleman's some sort of a courier. Evidently, he was carrying crucial information back to his people.
When he was nearly killed by your farmer.
Ambassador Saval thinks it would be best if we push off your launch until we've cleared this up.
How much longer?
Until you've proven you're ready.
Ready to what?
To look beyond your provincial attitudes and your volatile nature.
Volatile? You have no idea how much I'm restraining myself from knocking you on your ass. These Klingons, they're anxious to get their man back. Fine. I can have my ship ready to go in 3 days. We'll take him back home. Alive.
This is no time to be imposing your ethical beliefs.
Dan?
What about your crew? Your comm officers in Brazil. You haven't selected a medical officer yet.
3 days, that's all I need.
Admiral.
We've been waiting for nearly a century, Ambassador. This seems as good a time as any to get started.
Listen to me, you're making a mistake.
When your logic doesn't work, you raise your voice? You've been on Earth too long.
I had a feeling their approach wouldn't sit too well with you. Don't screw this up.
I heard this platform's been approved for biotransport.
I presume you mean fruits and vegetables.
I mean armory officers and helmsmen.
Don't think I'm quite ready to have my molecules compressed into a data stream.
They claim it's safe.
Do they indeed? Well, I certainly hope the captain doesn't plan on making us use it.
Don't worry. From what I'm told, he wouldn't even put his dog through this thing.
This is ridiculous.
I asked for plasma coils, and they send me a case of valve sealant. There's no chance I can have these weapons online in 3 days.
We're just taking a sick man back to his homeworld. Why do we need weapons?
Didn't you read the profile report on these Klingons? Apparently they sharpen their teeth before they go into battle. No doubt Mr. Tucker will reassure me that my equipment will be here tomorrow. Keep your shirt on, Lieutenant.
Beautiful. Lock it off right there.
I believe you missed the spot. Commander Tucker. Ensign Travis Mayweather. You just arrived.
Our space boomer.
How fast have you gotten there?
Warp 4. We'll be going to 4-5 as soon as we clear Jupiter. Think you can handle it?
4.5.
Pardon me, but if I don't realign the deflector, the first grain of space dust we come across will blow a hole through this ship the size of your fist.
Keep your shirt on, Lieutenant. Your equipment will be here in the morning.
Tighten the back of your tongue. Keep trying, you've almost got it. I'll be right back. There's 2 more weeks before exams. It's impossible for me to leave now.
You've got to have someone who can cover for you.
If there was anyone else who can do what I do, you wouldn't be so eager to have me on your spaceship.
Who's she?
I'm sorry, Captain, I owe it to these kids.
I could order you. I need someone with your ear.
And you'll have her in 3 weeks. What's that?
Klingon. Ambassador Saval gave us a sampling of their linguistic database.
I thought you said the Vulcans were opposed to this.
They are. But we agreed to make a few compromises.
What do you know about these Klingons?
Not much. An empire of warriors with 80 polyguttural dialects constructed on an adaptive syntax.
Turn it up.
Think of it. You'd be the first human to talk to these people. You really want someone else to do it?
Since when do we have Vulcan science officers?
Since we needed their star charts to get to Kronos.
So we get a few maps and they get to put a spy on our ship?
Admiral Forrest says we should think of her more as a chaperone.
I thought the whole point of this was to get away from the Vulcans.
4 days there and 4 days back. Then she's gone. In the meantime, we're to extend her every courtesy.
I don't know. I'd be more comfortable with Porthos on the bridge.
Here we go. Come in.
This confirms that I was transferred to your command at 0800 hours. Reporting for duty.
Is there a problem?
No, sir.
While you may not share our enthusiasm about this mission, I expect you to follow our rules. What's said in this room and out on that bridge is privileged information. I don't want every word I say being picked apart the next day by the Vulcan High Command.
My reason for being here is not espionage. I didn't request this assignment, Captain. And you can be certain that when this mission's over, I'll be as pleased to leave this ship as you'll be to have me go. If there's nothing else.
That'll be all.
Warp 5 engine wouldn't be a reality without men like Dr. Cochrane and Henry Archer, who worked so hard to develop it. So it's only fitting that Henry's son, Jonathan Archer, will command the first starship powered by that engine. Rather than quoting Dr. Cochrane, I think we should listen to his own words from the dedication ceremony for the Warp 5 complex 32 years ago.
On this site, a powerful engine will be built. An engine that will someday help us to travel 100 times faster than we can today. Imagine it. Thousands of inhabited planets at our fingertips. And we'll be able to explore those strange new worlds and seek out new life and new civilizations. This engine will let us go boldly where no man has gone before.
Take her out, Mr. Mayweather. Straight and steady. How we doing, Trip?
Ready when you are.
Prepare for warp.
Course laid in, sir. Request permission to get underway.
The coordinates are off by 0.2 degrees.
Thank you. Let's go.
this Kling. The humans have him. Did you lose anyone else? Two of my soldiers were killed. One of them was a friend. Can you prevent it?
Our agreement doesn't provide for correcting mistakes. Recover the evidence.
I will. I promise you. When will we speak again?
Don't get concerned with when.
Love what you've done with the place.
Those are immunocytic gel worms. Try not to shake them.
What'd you think of Earth?
Intriguing. I especially liked the Chinese food. Have you ever tried it?
I've lived in San Francisco all my life.
Ah. Anatomically, you humans are somewhat simplistic, but what you lack biologically, you make up for with your charming optimism. Not to mention your egg drop soup.
Ensign Mayweather tells me that we'll be to Kronos in about 80 hours. Any chance he'll be conscious by then?
There's a chance he'll be conscious within the next 10 minutes. Just not a very good one.
80 hours, Doctor. If he doesn't walk off the ship on his own 2 feet, he doesn't stand much of a chance.
I'll do the best I can. Optimism, Captain!
No.
Big Sur query.
Sightseeing was not one of my assignments.
All work and no play. Everybody should get out for a little fun now and then.
All our recreational needs are provided at the compound.
Come in.
Should have started without me.
Sit down. Paul tells me she's been living at the Vulcan compound in Sausalito.
No kidding. I lived a few blocks from there when I first joined Starfleet. Great parties at the Vulcan compound.
It might be a little easier using your fingers.
Vulcans don't touch food with their hands.
Can't wait to see you tackle the spare ribs.
Don't worry, we know you're a vegetarian.
Looks delicious. Tell Chef I said thanks.
Of course, sir.
You humans claim to be enlightened, yet you still consume the flesh of animals.
Grandma taught me never judge a species by their eating habits.
Enlightened might be too strong a word, but if you'd been on Earth 50 years ago, I think you'd be impressed by what we've gotten done.
You have yet to embrace either patience or logic. You remain impulsive carnivores.
Yeah? How about war? Disease, hunger. Pretty much wiped them out in less than 2 generations. I wouldn't call that small potatoes.
It remains to be seen whether humanity will revert to its baser instincts.
Well, we used to have cannibals on Earth. Who knows how far we'll revert? Lucky this isn't a long mission.
Human instinct is pretty strong. You can't expect us to change overnight.
With proper discipline, anything's possible.
Warp 4.3, sir.
Not much of a change.
I don't know, does anybody else feel that?
Feel what?
Those vibrations, like little tremors?
You're imagining it.
Bring us to 4-4, Ensign.
There, what do you call that?
The deflector sequencing. It's perfectly normal.
Perhaps you'd like to go to your quarters and lie down.
Ponfomaran.
I was instructed to speak English on this voyage, and I'd appreciate it if you'd respect that.
It's easy to get a little jumpy when you're traveling at 30 million kilometers a second. Should be old hat in a week's time. Archer.
This is Dr. Flops, Captain. Our patient is regaining consciousness.
On my way. Hoshi? What's wrong?
The translator, it's not locking on to his dialect. The syntax won't align.
Tell him we're taking him home.
Engan Hook Ju. Oh, he wants to know who we are. Ogwimye Enterprise Puglot. Lupom, ship. He's asking for a ship back.
Say it was destroyed.
Sunchi. I'm not sure, but I think he said something about eating the afterlife.
Try the translator again.
I'm gonna need to run what we've got through the phonetic processor. He says his wife has grown ugly. I am sorry, Captain. I am doing the best I can.
Excuse me. His prefrontal cortex is hyperstimulated. I doubt he has any idea what he's saying.
I think the doctor's right, Captain, unless Stinky Boots has something to do with all this. That's the warp reactor again, right?
Bridge report.
We've dropped out of warp, sir. Main power.
We're losing power on all decks.
I think I just saw something up the starboard bow.
What?
I don't know. It might have just been the sensors going down.
Auxiliary power should have kicked in by now. You don't want to tell him to shut up? We may have to sedate him. I need to get to the bridge.
Captain, there's someone here.
We've got state-of-the-art sensors. Why the hell didn't we detect them?
Mr. Reed thought he detected something right before we lost power.
The starboard logs recorded a spatial disturbance. Looks more like a glitch.
Those weren't glitches in sickbay.
I want a complete analysis of that disturbance. Where do we stand on weapons?
We still have to tune the targeting scanners.
What are you waiting for?
Captain.
The Klingons seem to know who they were. See if you can translate what he said.
Right away.
Captain, there's no way you could have anticipated this. I'm sure Ambassador Saval will understand.
You're the science officer. Why don't you help Trip with that analysis?
The astrometric computer in San Francisco will be far more effective.
We're not going to San Francisco, so make do with what we've got here.
You've lost the Klingon. Your mission is over.
I didn't lose the Klingon. He was taken. And I'm going to find out who took him.
How do you plan to do that? Space is very big, Captain. A shadow on your sensors won't help you find them. This is a foolish mission.
Come with me. I'm not interested in what you think about this mission. So take your Vulcan cynicism and bury it along with your repressed emotions.
Your reaction to this situation is a perfect example of why your species should remain in its own star system.
You may have lifespans of 200 years, we don't. Now get the hell out there and make yourself useful. Some kind of a mutant?
Oh, well, I suppose I am, but this was no accident. No freak of nature. This man was the recipient of some very sophisticated genetic engineering. Watch this. Subcutaneous pigment sacs. A biomimetic garment, and the eyes are my favorite. Compound retinas. He most likely saw things even your sensors couldn't detect.
It's not in their genome.
No, certainly not. Vasulaban are no more evolved than humans. It is very impressive work, though. Never seen anything quite like it.
How about this?
It's just background noise. Your sensors aren't capable of isolated plasma decay.
How can you be so damn sure what our sensors can do?
Vulcan children play with toys that are more sophisticated.
Any luck?
Not really.
My analysis of the spatial disturbance Mr. Reed saw indicates a stealth vessel with a tricyclic plasma drive.
If we could figure out the decay rate of their plasma, we'll be able to find the warp trail.
Unfortunately, your sensors were not designed to measure plasma decay.
Are you sure it's safe to stand so close to that?
What have you got?
I've managed to translate most of what Kling said, but none of it makes sense.
Nothing about the Suliban.
Nope.
Does that name ring a bell to you?
They're a somewhat primitive species from Sector 3641, but they've never posed a threat.
Well, they have now. Did he say anything about Earth?
The word's not even in their database. It's all there. There are only 4 words that I couldn't translate. Probably just proper nouns.
Jellic, Sarin, Rigel, Tholia. Anything sound familiar? T'Pol?
Rigel is a planetary system, approximately 15 light years from our present position.
Why the hesitation?
According to the navigational logs salvaged from Kling's ship, Rigel 10 was the last place he stopped before crashing on your planet.
Why do I get the feeling you weren't going to share that little piece of information?
I wasn't authorized to reveal the details of our findings.
The next time I learn you're withholding something, You're going to spend the rest of this voyage confined to some very cramped quarters, understood? Archer to helm.
Mayweather.
Go into the Vulcan star charts and find a system called Rigel, and set a course for the 10th planet.
Yes, sir.
As soon as we've tied down, we'll be descending into the trade complex. It has 36 levels.
Your translators have been programmed for Rigelian. However, you'll encounter numerous other species. Many of them are known to be impatient with newcomers. None of them have seen a human before. You have a tendency to be gregarious. I suggest you try to restrain that tendency.
You forgot to warn us about drinking the water.
Dr. Phlox isn't concerned with the food and water, but he does caution against intimate contact.
The Vulcans told us Klang was a courier. If he was there to get something, whoever gave it to him might know why he was taken. It was just a few days ago. A 7-foot Klingon doesn't go unnoticed.
It's nothing that concerns us.
Yes, absolutely. Right.
To Paul Archer.
Go ahead.
Central Security claims to have no record of Kling, but they told me about an enclave on level 19 where Klingons have been known to grow something about live food.
We're on level 19.
The easternmost subsection, by the geothermal shafts.
I'll get you there as soon as I can. Archer,
What are you doing? Leave the kid alone.
Don't get involved.
You see what he's doing? He's gonna suffocate.
They're Lorelians. Before the age of 4, they can only breathe methyl oxide. The mother is simply weaning her son.
Could have fooled me.
Humans can't refrain from drawing conclusions. You should learn to objectify other cultures, so you know when to interfere and when not to.
Isn't an enclave supposed to have people?
Enclave can mean a lot of things.
Paul said something about live food. I don't see any restaurants.
Hello? Excuse me!
Hakuje! They look Klingon to me.
Archer to DePaul. DePaul, come in.
Maybe we should get back to where there are more people.
There are plenty of people right here. Stay behind me.
You're looking for Klang. Why?
Who the hell are you?
My name is Sarin. Tell me about the people who took Klang off your ship.
I was hoping you could tell me. They looked a lot like your friends outside.
Where were you taking him?
Why don't you look like your friends?
Would you prefer I did?
What I'd prefer is you give me Klang back.
So you could take him where?
Home. We were just taking him home. You better be careful. I'm a lot bigger than you are.
If you're thinking of harming me, I'd advise against it.
What are you doing?
Why were you taking Klang home?
You know, under different circumstances, I might be flattered by this, but
Where's your vessel?
on the roof, docking port 3.
This way. Find Klang.
Where's the pod?
Over here!
No, it's this way.
Come on! Lieutenant Reed! This is Archer, come in! We're on the roof! You need to get up here as quickly as you...
We've been trying to reach you, Captain. We're back in the shuttle. Ask them where they are. The storm's getting worse. Captain, what's your location? The weather is definitely...
Great.
Like I said, it's back there!
I've never seen lightning in a snowstorm before. The storm's kicking up too much interference. I can't isolate human biosigns. They could be anywhere in the complex. Try Vulcan biosigns. I found her.
Get Hoshi to the ship! Now!
Enterprise needs its captain. Give me the weapon.
I said go!
The starboard thruster's down.
Ignore it. Take us up.
We need
Open a channel. So, Commander DePaul to Enterprise.
Go ahead.
We'll be docking in 4 minutes. Have Dr. Phlox meet us in decon.
Acknowledged. Is someone wounded?
The captain. I'm taking command of Enterprise.
I can't do it.
Yes, you can. Take her up. Straight and steady.
Damn.
You can't be afraid of the wind. Learn to trust it.
Very nice. Very nice. Your myofibers are fusing beautifully.
How long have...
Less than 6 hours. I thought it best to keep you sedated while the osmotic eel cauterized your wound.
Thanks.
How you doing, Captain?
Well, that depends. What's been going on the last 6 hours?
As your highest ranking officer, I assumed command while you were incapacitated.
Are we underway? You didn't waste much time, did you?
Is he fit to resume command?
As long as he returns for more eel therapy tomorrow.
How long before we get back to Earth?
Earth, sir?
We're currently tracking the Suliban vessel that left Rigel shortly after you were injured.
You got their plasma decay rate?
With Mr. Tucker's assistance, I modified your sensors. We now have the resolution to detect their warp trail.
What happened to this is a foolish mission?
This is a foolish mission. The Suliban are clearly a hostile race with technology far superior to yours. But as acting captain, I was obligated to anticipate your wishes.
As acting captain, you could have done whatever the hell you wanted to do.
I should return to the bridge.
Dismissed.
Modifying the sensors was her idea, sir.
Enterprise Starlog, Captain Jonathan Archer, April 16th, 2151. We've been tracking the Suliban ship for 10 hours, thanks to our science officer who came up with a way to tweak the sensors. Computer pause. I saved her life, now she's helping us with a mission. One good turn deserves another. Doesn't sound very Vulcan. Resume log. I have no reason to believe that Kling is still alive, but if what the Suliban woman told me is true, it's crucial that we try to find him. Computer pause. Have you ever known a Vulcan to return a favor? No, neither have I. Resume log. I still haven't decided whether to ask Sub-Commander T'Pol about this temporal Cold War. My instincts tell me not to trust her. Computer pause. Archer to T'Pol, report.
If you're feeling well enough to come to the bridge, Captain, now would be a good time. It's a gas giant.
From the looks of it, a class 6 or 7.
Class 7. The Suliban vessel dropped to impulse a few hours ago and altered course. Their new heading took them through its outer radiation belt.
We've lost them.
Yes.
Move us in closer. Anything?
The radiation's dissipated their warp trail. I'm only picking up fragments.
You finished helping us?
Lieutenant, run a spectral analysis of the fragments.
There's too much distortion. The decay rates don't even match.
Calculate the trajectory of each fragment.
Sir?
You heard her. Recalibrate the sensor array, narrow band, short to mid-range.
Aye, sir.
Measure the particle density of the thermosphere.
Your instincts were right. Those fragments weren't from one Suliban ship.
They were from 14. And all within the last 6 hours, I believe we have found what we're looking for.
How are your targeting scanners?
Aligned and ready, sir.
Bring the weapons online. And polarize the hull plating. Lay in a 60-degree vector. We're going in.
Did Sarin give them anything?
I don't know.
What do you know?
They followed us here.
Looking for Klang or for you?
I don't know, but I will destroy them before they locate the helix.
We didn't plan to involve the humans, or the Vulcans. Not yet. Sarin's message cannot reach Kronos. If the humans have it, you must stop them.
Sensor resolution's falling off at about 12 kilometers.
Travis?
I'm okay, Captain.
Our situation should improve. We're about to break through the cyclohexane layer.
Wouldn't exactly call this an improvement.
Liquid phosphorus. I wouldn't have expected that beneath a layer of cyclohexane.
You might think about recommending seatbelts when we get home.
It's just a little bad weather.
We've got sensors.
Level off. Go to long-range scans.
I'm detecting 2 vessels bearing 119 Mark 7.
Put it up.
Impulse and warp engines.
What kind of weapons?
We're too far away.
Sir, I'm picking up something at 342 Mark 12. It's a lot bigger.
All sensors. Get whatever you can. Go tighter. Biosigns?
Over 3,000, but I can't isolate a Klingon if there is one.
That was a particle weapon, sir.
Alright, we're taking damage down here. What's going on?
Just a little trouble with the bad guys.
I suggest we return to the phosphorus layer.
Take us up.
Captain,
What have you got?
it appears to be an aggregate structure comprised of hundreds of vessels. They're held in place by an interlocking system of magnetic seals.
There, right there. These bio readings are not Suliban.
We can't be certain they're Klingon.
Even if it is Klang, we'd have a tough time getting him out of there.
We could always try the transporting device.
We've risked too much to bring him back inside out. Would the grappler work in a liquid atmosphere?
I believe so.
Bring it online. One more time, Mr. Mayweather.
Ventral plating's down.
Hold your position.
Lead ship's closing. 7,000 meters. 6,000.
We should ascend.
Hold your position.
1,000 meters. Forward plating's offline.
Now, Mr. Reed.
The ship's in the launch bay.
Ask me another one.
All right, what's this?
The pitch control.
No, that's the pitch control. This is the guidance system.
Captain, that charge contained a proximity sweep. If we remain here, they're going to locate us.
You're gonna have to speed this up a little, Travis.
How complicated can it be? Up, down, forward, reverse? We'll figure it out.
We'll be back before you know it. Have Mayweather plot a course for Kronos.
There's a Vulcan ship less than 2 days away. It's illogical to attempt this alone.
I was beginning to think you understood why we have to do this alone.
You'll have other opportunities to demonstrate your independence.
Never put off till tomorrow.
You both could be killed.
Am I sensing concern? Last time I checked, that was considered an emotion.
If anything happens to either of you, the Vulcan High Command will hold me responsible.
Come in. You finished?
Sir? This should reverse the polarity of any maglock within 100 meters. Once you've set the sequence, we'll have 5 seconds. One more thing.
Ah, our new weapons.
They're called phase pistols. They have 2 settings, stun and kill. It will be best not to confuse them.
Time to go. The ship is yours. What's that?
Travis said not to worry about that panel.
That's reassuring.
Hold on. That was a lot closer. If we change our position, they'll have to start from scratch.
If we change our position, the captain will have no way of finding us.
I think we're there.
Bring the docking interface online. Coaxial ports.
Open.
Let's go.
Where is it? It was right there.
Bank starboard, 90 degrees.
There you are.
That's the upper support radius. Drop down right below it. Start a counterclockwise sweep. A little more. A little more. Right there. Stun seems to work.
Grab onto something!
This is ridiculous. If we don't move the ship, Captain Archer won't have anything to look for when he gets back.
We're going to need that ear of yours. Move us away 5 kilometers.
In what direction?
Any direction.
This is gonna be easier than I thought. It's okay. We'll get you off this day.
I really don't want to have to carry you out of here. You okay? I think he gets the idea. Give him a hand.
What up?
Be quiet!
Don't want to talk about
Get down, big guy. Give me the box.
Thanks.
Get to the ship. I'll be right behind you. Still in the central core. Get Klein back to Enterprise.
What about you, sir?
Get him to the ship. You can come back for me.
It's gonna be hard to isolate your biosigns, so stay as far away from the Suliban as you can.
Believe me, I'll try.
I don't particularly like the way you smell either. I don't get it. This is right where they're supposed to be.
Charges are getting closer again.
Another 5 kilometers, Ensign.
At this rate, the captain will never find us.
Wait a minute, I think I've got something.
Amplify it.
It's Commander Tucker.
All I hear is noise.
It's just a narrow notch in mid-range. He says he's about to ignite his thruster exhaust.
Coordinates. 158 Mark 13.
Laid in.
Ahead, 50 kph.
Shatner. You're welcome.
2 kilometers dead ahead.
Initiate docking procedures.
I'm only picking up 2 biosigns. 1 Klingon, 1 human.
You're wasting your time. Kling knows nothing. It would be unwise to discharge that weapon in this room.
What is this room? What goes on here?
You're very curious, John. May I call you John?
Am I supposed to be impressed that you know my name?
I've learned a great deal about you, even more than you know.
Well, I guess you have me at a disadvantage. So why don't you drop this invisible man routine and let me see who I'm talking to.
I'll play. He's been repolarized.
Stand by impulse engines. Mr. Tucker, status.
The auto sequencer's online, but annular confinement's still off by 2 microns.
That should suffice.
Easy for you to say.
If the Suliban have reestablished their defenses, we'll have no other option.
You wouldn't have come looking for Klang if Sarin had told you what she knew. That means you're no threat to me, John. But I do need you to leave this room. Now.
This chameleon thing is pretty fancy. Was it payment for pitting the Klingons against each other? Or a trophy from your temporal Cold War?
I was going to let you go.
Really? Then you obviously don't know as much about me as you thought you did.
On the contrary, I could have told you what day you were going to die, but I suppose that's about to change.
What's the matter? No genetic tricks to keep you from getting knocked on your butt?
What you call tricks, we call progress. Are you aware that your genome is almost identical to that of an ape? The Suliban don't share humanity's patience with natural selection.
So to speed things up a little, you struck a deal with the devil.
Coming up off starboard.
Can we dock, Ensign?
These aren't ideal conditions.
Mr. Tucker, we're going to Plan B.
We've got him. Sorry, Captain. We had no other choice.
Something about disgracing the Empire. He says he's ready to die.
chúng ta một trở về.
I'll take that as a thank you.
I don't think they have a word for thank you.
What did he say?
You don't want to know.
I wanted you both to hear Starfleet's orders before I inform the crew. Orders? Your people are sending a transport to pick you up.
I was under the impression that Enterprise would be taking me back to Earth.
It would be a little out of our way. Admiral Forrest sees no reason why we shouldn't keep going. I think that outer hull is going to need a little patching up. Let's hope that's the last time somebody takes a shot at us.
Let's hope.
Paul, would you stick around for a minute? Ever since I can remember, I've seen Vulcans as an obstacle, always keeping us from standing on our own 2 feet.
I understand.
No, I don't think you do. If I'm going to pull this off, there are a few things I need to leave behind. Things like preconceptions, holding grudges. This mission would have failed without your help.
I won't dispute that.
I was thinking, a Vulcan science officer could come in handy. But if I asked you to stay, it might look like I wasn't ready to do this on my own.
Perhaps you should add pride to your list.
Perhaps I should.
It might be best if I were to contact my superiors and make the request myself. With your permission.
Permission granted. I hope nobody is in a big hurry to get home. Starfleet seems to think that we're ready to begin our mission. I understand there's an inhabited planet a few light years from here.
We've detected it, sir. Sensors show a nitrogen sulfide atmosphere.
Probably not humanoids.
That's what we're here to find out. Prepare to break orbit and lay in a course.
I'm reading an ion storm on that trajectory, sir. Should I go around it?
We can't be afraid of the wind, Ensign. Take us to warp 4.